excited. Okay, so as always, we might want to take off our shoes. I still have mine on. And then come to sit on your mat in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you today. Overshot. I'm going to sit up on a blanket, but like if you are traveling and we are starting to get into the travel season, I know, get excited. A lot of people go away during the summer. Just know that wherever you're staying, there's probably things you can use as props. Like a good sturdy towel can work as a blanket, right? A scarf or a belt or even a long sock could work as a strap, even a piece of rope if that's I think you could probably even use a computer cord, although they're very thin. They might not feel good on the hands. And then books or pillows or anything you have can work for support when we're needing that particular situation. And then you can always just improvise, right? It works. Let's come to take the heels of the hands into the upper thighs. You're sitting in whatever a comfortable seated position feels like for you today. It might not be cross-legged. You might have the legs extended. You might be kneeling. You might even be in a chair. Doesn't matter. The fact is that you're here. You've made it. You've taken time out of your day to take care of yourself. And that's huge, right? That's so good. Let's take it side to side, pressing into one thigh, leaning away, turn to look over that shoulder, and then back through center over to the other side. Oh, kind of wringing out the spine a little bit, priming it, getting ready, noticing how is it today? Mm-hmm. And then coming back to neutral, heels of the hands running from hip to knee. Work your way around the thigh, getting in contact, making connection, right? Beautiful. Next time the hand slides over the knee, hold on, lift up nice and tall, shoulder blades move down the back, and then we're going to take the torso around in a circle. A few times in one direction, going this way, breathing. It's almost like you're inside a jar of something very tasty and you're trying to scrape it all out with your rib cage. Then on your next exhalation, let's change directions, going the other way. Yes, just getting as much movement as you can, trying not to fall over. And then it's nice to close the eyes for this part, but you're going to start to make the circles smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually you're still circling internally, right? You can still feel that tiny inner revolution. But externally, we might not be able to see anything. And again, if you haven't already, the eyes are closed now if you feel safe and comfortable to do so. And then eventually, even that little tiny inner revolution comes to stillness. And we're just left with the residue of that rotation. Coming into the physical body now, we've done quite a bit to prime ourselves here. Notice how you are seated. Do the sits bones feel like they're meeting the earth evenly? Does something need to be adjusted? And again, your seated position might be on a different surface other than the earth, and that's fine. We're still rooting down in our minds into the center of the earth. Tapping into that stability. So necessary when things feel like they're going a little something, something. Let's lift and spread the collarbone, shoulder blades moving down the back body, navel to spine. Pubic bone just gently finds belly button, right? We firm that lower abdominal wall. We're not trying to harden anything, not ever, not in yoga. Nice. And then balancing the skull on top of the spine. Let's do the motions of the head. Dipping, left ear towards left shoulder, right ear towards right shoulder. Going back and forth. It's like a slow motion controlled metronome with the head. We're breathing. And it should be easy and gentle and slow, right? We're not trying to do any number of these. We're just seeing what's available. And then coming back to neutral, let's dip the chin towards the chest. And then as you lift the chin towards the sky, imagine there's a ripe grapefruit behind the back of your skull, and you're lifting the base of the skull up and over as you stretch the chin towards the sky. So really trying to stretch the front of the throat and then letting the chin come back down towards the chest. Trying to keep the sternum lifted in either direction. Noticing just how far can you go. Beautiful. And then bringing the chin parallel to the floor. Let's turn the head now like an owl. Keeping the chin parallel as best you can. Breathing here. Gorgeous. And then coming back to neutral. Relax the throat, the jaw, the teeth. Let's let the chin tilt slightly towards the earth so the back of the neck can lengthen. Then relax the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the eyes in their sockets. Go to the space between the eyebrows, soften any tension there, and then spread the eyebrows apart from one another. Smooth out the skin of the forehead. Relax the skin at the temples. And soften the inner ears. And then find the breath. You are still breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Now turn all of your awareness to that rhythm, that pattern. Let yourself inhabit the breath. Sometimes there's a sense of relief. It's almost like we have permission to let go of everything else when we turn our awareness to the next inhalation, next exhalation. Nice. From here, take the hands together in front of the heart, palm against palm, fingers elongated. Lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones. We're preparing perhaps for sound. I'm going to invite you to chant the sound of Om with me 3 times, and then we'll invocate. Go ahead, exhale fully, letting go of all the breath you currently have. Then inhale fully to begin. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, let the chin come towards the chest. Pause here. Turn inwards. Notice what's there. Notice if there's any feeling or even maybe words, something that you need from your practice today. Might be physical, might be mental, might be emotional. It might be that nothing bubbles up, which is also okay. Nice. Take another deep breath. And then exhale, release the hands to the lap as you start to continue to your breathing. Start to flutter the eyelids open, taking in form and color and space. And then as you feel ready, raise the gaze. Let's help the knees up if the legs have been crossed, extending the legs in front of you, ironing out from root to shoot. It's so good to touch the body. And we forget that we can do it. Why I like to build it into every class, this opportunity to really get, are we still here, right? It's a way to ground ourselves in the here and now. Touching the body gives us an opportunity to reassure our minds that we still are inhabiting, right? We're still here. Nice. Give a little massage to whatever feels like it needs it. My quadriceps have been tight. Been doing a lot of exercises and working and walking, and so getting some squeezes in there feels good. And my other favorite thing lately is to be really interested in the connection of the shin bone and the inner edge of the calf muscle. So if you take your thumb and run it slowly with some pressure along the inner edge of the shin bone, right where it starts to turn into the calf muscle, there can be a lot of sensation there, and it feels like a nice release in my body. Maybe it feels good to you too. Go a couple times, and then if there's anywhere else that needs attention, if the knees have been feeling cranky, maybe it's the shoulders that need a little work. But let's take another minute or so here, just massaging any part of the body that feels like it needs some attention. And only you are going to know what part is that for you, right? So, and maybe it's that you managed to touch a little bit of everything, right? Oh, take another 30 seconds, squeezing that one piece of your body that's like, hey, what about me? Although maybe if your body's actually talking to you, we have bigger problems. All right, from here, hands come behind, beside, lift and spread the collarbones. And if your mood has been a little not stellar lately, maybe you lift the gaze as well. And then we'll point and flex the feet, elongating through the front of the foot and then through the back of the ankle. Really spread the toes. Nice full breaths here. Gorgeous. And then coming to the center of the heel, we invert the foot. So inner edges of the feet go forward, then outer edges of the feet go forward. Keep breathing. You got it. Nice. Try to keep the feet parallel. And then you know the drill. We come back to neutral. Now we're squeezing the toes and spreading the toes and squeezing the toes and spreading the toes. Nice deep inhales, complete exhales. Beautiful. And then why not? Big toe up, four toes down. Big toe forward, four toes back. Go back and forth. Stretching the sole of the foot, getting the toes involved. Then can you alternate doing one on one side, the other on the other? Switch. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, come underneath the knees. Bring the feet to the floor. We're going to swish the knees from side to side. Go slow. Really opening up through the side body, the back body. Then once you've gone a few times, we can make it a little bigger. Next time both knees come to the right, lift the left arm up to the right corner of the room. You inhale here, get big. Then as you exhale, navel to spine, curl it in. It's like you're doing a little cow pose or cat pose, really. Then you inhale, that's the one that's more like cow. Exhale, navel to spine, get your cat pose. Couple of times like this. You're making it as big or as small as feels good to you. Nice. And then next time you inhale, we stretch it up. Now as you exhale, we come all the way over to the second side. And then we're lifting that right arm up to the corner of the left side of the room, inhaling to get big. Exhale, curl it in, navel to spine. Inhale, get big. Exhale, curl it in, navel to spine. You got it. You know the pattern, right? It's just a way to bring a little more energy into the body. Lifting and spreading, and then contracting, pushing all the air out. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and spread. Exhale, contract. 1 more. Inhale, get big. Then as you exhale, we'll come back to neutral. Let's do a chest opener, right? You can do it on whatever you have. Again, a towel could work. A blanket is a good idea. Rolling it up nice and tight. Taking that horizontal across the mat and then finding something for the head. So if I didn't have a block or a stack of books, I could even use a pillow. I could even use a pillow or a couple of pillows, but get creative. See what you have in your space. And then we're coming to lay back and down. Bottom tip of the shoulder blade is on the surface. Rolled blanket, rolled towel, whatever you got. Head is on a surface so that we're not dropping the back of the skull back, so we're not overly stretching the throat. And then really take time to sort yourself out here. There might be a lot of rocking from side to side, right? Just depends on what you need and how it feels. And then if your low back is okay with it, then we could extend the legs onto the floor one at a time, reaching through the inner heels, rolling the big toes towards each other. If my low back was not cool with that, it didn't feel good to me, then I would keep the feet wide, turning the heels a little bit out, letting the knees fall into each other. So one way or another, you've got some way of having the legs be a supportive part of your chest opener. And then wherever you've ended up, it's pubic bone to belly button. It just helps to lengthen the low back so you can really allow there to be a sense of the tailbone reaching towards the other end of the mat away from your head. And then we're turning the lower frontal ribs slightly down towards the earth. Again, that just helps to bring the spine into alignment. Now you're welcome to keep the arms out in that T shape, or if it feels good to you, lift the arms up towards the sky. Take opposite hand to opposite forearm, and then either take the forearms clear over the crown of the head to hang out on that block, or rest them on your forehead if that going over the head thing feels like it's a little much this morning. Either way, you're lengthening now, right? From outer hip to outer rib cage to outer armpit to elbow. Chin comes slightly towards the chest. You might even take the head a little side to side. Can be an interesting place to do that. You can access parts of the shoulder and neck that you don't always get into. Deep, full breaths into the upper back, the back of the neck. Softening the jaw, the teeth, the tongue. And then where's the breath? Can you pull in a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller? One more inhalation. And then as you exhale, release the arms out and down into that T shape. Everyone bends the knees now, taking the feet as wide as your mat, and then re-extending them. If you, we forgot to do the other side. I'm so sorry. I got excited about what's coming next. So if you had the legs extended before, you'll extend them again, and we'll do the other side with the arms, inhaling the arms up towards the sky, exhale, folding the arms opposite forearm on top, and then taking the forearms either overhead or to the forehead. This is what happens when you get excited about the rest of the class. Drawing pubic bone to belly button, turning the lower frontal ribs down towards the floor, chin towards chest. Nice. And again, if the knees are still bent, knees falling into each other, then you don't need to reach through the heels. Gorgeous. Deep, full breaths. Again, feeling like a telescope, right? Telescoping out, getting longer. Softening the jaw. Nice. 2, 3 more breaths here, making sure we bake the same amount on this side. And then when you feel balanced, you exhale, release the arms out to the sides. Now we can all bend the knees, bringing the feet to the floor as wide as the mat, and then start going in with knees and head in opposition. See, I was excited about this part. It's my favorite. Knees and head in opposition, going back and forth, turning it into whatever you need it to be. And honestly, sometimes just lingering on one side or the other can feel so incredibly useful, right? It's like allowing the body to sort of settle in here. If you do it on one side, you should do it on the other, just so that there's balance coming in. You know, we may be asymmetrical, but we've got to work to bring as much balance into the body as we can. Not always easy. Nice. Maybe you're approaching it in another way, getting more of an upper back massage. That can be nice. Beautiful. And then as you feel ready, roll all the way to one side. Use the hands to help yourself up, help yourself out. Let's go ahead and take our blanket or whatever we've been using underneath our upper back. Let's fold it up to go underneath our head. And then we're coming back to lay down. All right. So we've got our head and neck supported, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Make sure everything ended up where you thought it should be. And then before we go anywhere else, just take the head side to side. Make sure there's no tension gathered into the back of the neck or the base of the skull. And then taking the head back to neutral in an exhalation, draw that right knee into the chest. We're actually all going to interlace behind the back of the thigh today. And so some folks might be closer to the hip, others might be closer to the back of the knee. You're doing the best you can. If holding on with interlaced fingers is challenging, you can also just grip the back of your thigh. And then for the first few breaths, you're just kind of hanging out, relaxing the shoulders, breathing into the inner groin, breathing into the back of the hip. And then we'll work with the leg in a little isometric sort of situation here. So I'm lightly flexing that right foot. We've done it before. As you inhale, you're going to press the foot up towards the sky, press the femur bone into the hamstrings, hamstrings into the hand. And then as you exhale, it's like you're squeezing an invisible ball behind the back of your knee. Go a couple of times like that. Inhaling, pressing the foot up towards the sky, really lengthening. Then exhale, squeeze that invisible ball behind the back of the knee. Going at your own pace. You're in charge of the amount of intensity you bring to the party. Right? It might be a lot, it might be a little. It's completely up to you. Gorgeous. As you feel ready, next time the leg extends, we're going to pause and then we're going to circle the ankle. A few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Right? It's one of the actions we don't get to when we go through our footwork on the floor because the floor is in the way. It doesn't allow for the circularization of the ankle joint. Nice. And then we're going to release the leg. Listen carefully. You've got to keep that left foot pressing firmly into the earth. You're reaching through the back of the right leg. And then a few times we're going to lower the leg towards the floor and then lift the leg up towards the sky. So I like to inhale as I lower and exhale as I lift. And you might not be going up all the way to the sky. You might be at an angle. But you're just seeing what you can do, kind of swinging with control, right? There's a little momentum, but we're trying to use muscular action. Nice. 2, 3 more times like this. And then next time the foot comes towards the sky, pause. So this one's a little more challenging. Let's take the arms out into a T shape. We're going to take that right leg out to the right any amount as long as you can keep the left hip on the floor. And then you take it back across the body towards the left side. Again, trying to keep the pelvis parallel to the floor. So we swing it laterally, or we swing it forward and back. Now we're swinging it side to side. Keep reaching through the heel bone. You're only going as far as feels good. So some people, that outer right leg might be coming all the way parallel to the floor on the right side. Others, you might just be going a few inches from side to side. You're just seeing what's possible. You have to use the abdominal wall, right? When the leg goes out to the right, you have to roll the lower abdominal wall to the left. And when the leg goes over to the left, you have to roll the abdominal wall over to the right. And then last but not least, we're going to take some circles with the leg. A few times in one direction, a few times in the other. And again, they might be super small. They might be really big. It just depends on what feels good. You might be going back and forth between shapes and sizes. You're definitely going back and forth between directions. Another few breaths here. Gorgeous. And then from here, we're bending that right knee out to the right. We're resting the outer right ankle on top of the left thigh. Woo! Feels good. Finally, we got there. Ah, Taylor's pose. You lovely thing, you. Lightly flex the right foot, and then you get to decide. So you're picking your own adventure here. It might be that you want to keep the left foot on the floor and just press the right knee away. You might use a block to do that. Or those that want to go a little deeper can draw the left thigh towards you as you resist the right knee away. Everyone's going to square their hips towards the wall in front of you. You're interlacing the hands behind the back of the left thigh if you've picked that foot off the floor. Or you could use a strap or a belt, or again, a sock might work. Everyone draws the chin towards the chest and lengthens the tailbone. And then we can slowly, slowly take the legs from side to side. There's a curiosity there as we go from left to right. We're just seeing what is available today. And if you find an angle that feels really useful, you want to hang out there, feel free to do it. Right? Don't let me rush you. Take your time. This is your experience. I'm just here trying to help. Nice. Another couple, 2, 3 breaths wherever you are. And then inhale back to neutral. Exhale, both feet come to the floor. And then just for giggles, take the knees and the head a little bit in opposition, relaxing the low back and noticing the difference between the sides. I know we didn't do traditional Supta Padangusthasana, but the effects are very similar. Nice. Coming back to neutral. Let's do that much to the second side. So feet come back to hips distance apart if they've strayed. And then as you exhale, you draw that left knee into the chest. Everyone holding on behind the back of the thigh today. Relax the shoulder blades down to the earth and draw the chin towards the chest once again. Just taking a few breaths here to help relax the inner groin, the outer hip. Ha, right? There's the sense of letting go here. Breathing. Then lightly flexing that left foot will go in with our little bit of isometric action. So as you inhale, you're pressing the foot up towards the sky. As you exhale, you're squeezing the heel towards the buttock as if you had that ball behind the knee. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to squeeze the invisible ball. Nice. Going back and forth. Again, the intensity is your own. You get to choose how much or how little you're putting into it today. And there's no judgment no matter what you've chosen. Only you know what's appropriate for you. Right? Nice. Are the shoulders still pressing down into the earth? And then next time the leg extends, we pause. Now we're circling the toes. A few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Feels good to get that freedom of movement into the ankle. So often we're just kind of walking around, which is only a little flex and a point. But here with the circling, we're really exploring the full range of possibility. Nice. And then lightly flexing the foot again. We let go of the back of the leg. And then we go in with our little bit of swinging, right? Although I hesitate to call it that, lowering the leg towards the floor and then lifting the leg back up towards you, trying to keep the leg nice and long. Can you keep the back of the knee open? You might be doing a different breath pattern than the one I described, right? I said I was inhaling as I took the leg down, exhaling as I brought it back towards the sky. It might be that exhaling feels good when you take it down and inhaling feels good when you lift. You have to try it out for yourself. See what works for you. Nice. Keep the breath flowing. Gorgeous. One more time, either direction. Nice. And then if the arms aren't out in a T shape yet, go ahead and take them there. Keep that right foot firm on the floor. We inhale as we take the left leg out to the left any amount. Then we exhale as we cross it over the body, but we don't let the left hip get light. We're not rolling to the right. Inhaling as we open, exhaling as we cross it over. This might be a very small action. It doesn't need to be big, but those that can, see what is the possibility. Could you take that outer left leg parallel to the floor? We don't know till we try. Nice. And then coming back to neutral, now we're circling the leg from the hip socket, reaching through the heel, a few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Really exploring, right? And again, these might be tiny, tiny little circles. Others, they're very big, like a full rond de jambe. Gorgeous. And then bending that left knee out to the left, outer left ankle resting on the top of the right thigh. Ha, it's like we've hit home base. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. All right. Either keeping the right foot on the floor, pushing the left thigh away, or pick the right foot up, interlace the hands, or take your strap behind the back of the right thigh. Everyone squares the hips to the wall in front of them and lengthens the tailbone and draws the chin towards the chest, right? Spine lengthening is non-negotiable. And then you could shift the legs from side to side in an effort to discover if there's something more useful here. And indeed, the rocking from side to side might be the useful thing. We don't know till we try. Nice full inhale, complete exhale. And if you find an angle and you're like, ooh, that is exactly what I needed, then maybe you linger. Or just another breath or two, and whatever you're doing, it's perfect. And then bringing the legs back to neutral. Both feet come to the floor a little wider than the hips. And then let's take the knees and the head in opposition. Fabulous. And then as you feel ready, roll all the way to one side. If you still have socks on like I do, it might be a good time to take them off. We're coming to table pose, but eventually there's a downward dog in our future. I know I'm reading the astrology of this class, and there's a downward dog in our future. So come to table pose. Take padding underneath the knees if you need it. Otherwise, plant the hands well. Stretch the fingers. Nice. Full circumference of the palm of the hand is there. And we haven't done this in a while, but pick up and replace the hands a few times, right? like a cat making biscuits. It's just nice to do for the shoulders, but also for the palms of the hands and the fingers. You really get a big extension there. You can do the same thing with the knees. Nice. And then let's come into cat and cow, inhaling, lifting the tailbone, lifting the gaze, stretching the frontal plane of the body. Then exhale, navel to spine, head and tailbone go down. Going back and forth at your breath pace, which might be faster or slower than mine. Trying to articulate the entire spine. Nice. And then coming back to neutral, lengthening crown of head, tailbone. Inhale here, exhale, wag the tail to the right, turn to look over the right shoulder. Inhale through center, exhale, second side. Beautiful. Again, back and forth. Gorgeous. And then coming back to neutral, take your pinky fingers to the edges of the mat, tuck the toes under, and press yourself up and back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Anything goes here. So take a moment to pedal out the feet or twist the hips, or maybe you're in an L shape, an alternative pose, getting some actions there. But it's yogi's choice here, getting whatever you need out of this pose. Yes. Really feel into the body. Before we come back down, take your time. There's no rush. But then when you feel ready, knees come back down to the mat. We're going to work a little bit with our bird dog sequence. So first, let's stretch out that left leg behind us. Left leg is at hip height. Reach through the heel bone. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button. And then if everything's going well, reach that right arm forward. We inhale here. Then as you exhale, you're going to bring elbow and knee together underneath the body. The head goes with. Then you inhale to re-extend. Then you exhale to place the knee and the hand back down on the mat. Then we go to the second side. Right leg extends into the air. Left arm extends forward. Inhale here. Exhale, curl knee and elbow towards each other. Inhale to press. Exhale, come back down. So you're going back and forth, side to side, finding your rhythm, right? We inhale to extend. We exhale to curl it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to release. So you find this rhythm. And it might be that you're just doing the leg or you're just doing the arm. We're trying to find our balance here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to release. Beautiful. Let's do one more time, either side. And then we're going back into our downward facing dog. So take the fingertips wide again. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Push the floor away. Just notice, how is it now? Can you reach the inner heel? Back, back, back. Your feet can be as wide as the margins of the sticky mat. Then press down with the whole entire circumference of the palm of the hand as you roll the inner elbows towards the front of your mat. Lift up off the deltoids. Tailbones reaching back, back, back. Nice. Breathing here. And then just for giggles, let's walk the hands towards the feet to come to our standing forward bend. Walking the hands towards the feet to come to our standing forward bend. Don't lock the knees, right? Let there be that little secret bend in the knee as you let the torso drape. Can you release the head? Maybe you shake the head a little no, a little yes. Beautiful. And then bending the knees a bit, bring the elbows to the knees. So now the spine is more or less parallel to the floor. Want you to think of pushing the skin on the thigh back towards the hips as you lengthen the frontal plane of the spine. And then pressing through the feet, inhale and come to standing. Gorgeous. Walk the feet towards each other, and then let's roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Nice. I want to work with that same action of knee to elbow, elbow to knee from a standing position. So it's going to be a little bit balance, a little bit core. And so we're going to start with the right knee and the left arm. So if I needed support, if I didn't think I could stand up for this, I would take my right fingertips to a wall. Otherwise, you're standing in the middle of your mat. Let's look down at the feet, hands on the hips, just for a moment. You can take your hand to the wall if you need to in a moment. But let's look at our feet. Planting big toe ball mound, spreading to pinky toe ball mound. Lift and spread all 10 toes. Just feel into the foot and then press the outer heel down, inner heel down. It's like we're screwing our feet into the earth. Gorgeous. Then releasing the arms from the side. We're going to lift the left arm up towards the sky. And here's our action. You're going to exhale, bring right knee to left elbow to right knee. And then as you inhale, you stretch, that right toe comes a little out to the side. And again, you could have your right hand on a wall. Otherwise, that right arm is going to help you to balance. It's going to do whatever it does to help you to balance. Inhale here. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. So it could be helpful to have the right arm out to the right, giving yourself a little more extension. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. You got it. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend it. Right? It's just another interesting way to work with balance. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to release. Take a little walk around your room. You might be rolling the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Strutting around your space. Might feel good to swing the arms a little bit. So when it's springtime and we're feeling mired, kind of stuck in things, we do unusual movements with the body to help refresh the mind so we don't feel so stuck. It's an interesting way to work, but it actually does help. There's science behind it. All right, let's do the second side. So now it's going to be our left leg, our right arm. So if I needed support, I could take my left arm to the wall. Otherwise, my left arm is going to end up doing whatever it does kind of instinctually to help you balance. And then let's reach the right arm up. Let's point the left toes out to the side a little bit. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl it in. Your knee and elbow might not be touching. You might just be getting a little bit in, right? It doesn't matter. You're just seeing what happens. Exhale, curl it in. And your arm might not be going all the way up towards the sky either, right? Maybe it's going more of at an angle. Others, maybe it's straight up, right? We're just seeing what's possible. Playing around with our bodies in space, playing with balance. Right? So important to do, especially as we get older. We need to make sure we have these kind of unique movements in the body. Helps us to stay upright, helps us to figure out our stability. Let's do 1 more. Inhale to get long. Exhale, curl it in. Woo, release it. Take a little walk around. Let's take something symmetrical. Let's take our Prasarita Padottanasana now. Blocks on the floor. Let's take our legs wide. Beautiful. Outer feet pressing down. Nice. Big toes pressing down. Suck the knees up, up, up onto the thigh. Then keeping the weight balanced between ball of foot and heel. Walk the blocks forward. right? We're hollowing out the armpit. Head is in line with the biceps. Don't drop the head. I know, sometimes it's tempting, right? But don't do it. And I like to press through the palms of the hands. That gives us a little buoyancy through the chest. Keep lifting the kneecaps up, 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 turning inner thighs towards the wall behind you. That lifts the tailbone, but don't drop the belly. Gorgeous. And then walking the blocks back in, taking your head to something. It either comes to the floor or to the blocks or a stack of blocks. Just seeing what's available, lifting the shoulder blades away from the back of the neck. Really thinking of extending the neck long, still lifting the kneecaps up onto the thighs, spiraling the inner thighs back. The more stability you have in the legs, the more freedom you have through the torso. Gorgeous. And then using the hands underneath the shoulders, lift yourself up halfway. Heel toe the feet in. We're coming back down onto the floor. We're going to complete our cycle of inversion and then we'll do a little bit of twisting. So come down onto the earth, have your block or blocks nearby. You might choose a flat block, a medium block, two flat blocks on top of each other, or even two tall blocks side by each. And if I didn't have blocks, I could reuse my blanket or towel here, lifting the hips, placing your blocks, placing your support, whatever that is. You could even use pillows, kind of like a bolster. That would be fine. Everyone presses the elbows into the earth to draw the shoulder blades together and down the back. Then we're exhaling the knees into the chest, inhaling the feet up towards the sky. Legs perpendicular to the floor. It doesn't matter how much height you have underneath you. You could even do this with no height at all. Pressing outer, outer, upper, upper arm, down, down, down. Really doming the chest as best you can. Right? The chin moves a bit towards the sternum here. You get a little of that Jalandhara Bandha, that chin lock. Then we are upside down. So good to get that experience. Breathing here. Nice full inhalation. Complete exhalation. Gorgeous. Next exhalation, start to bend the knees. As you inhale, bring the feet down to the earth. We're going to press the feet down, lift the hips, and take the blocker block out from underneath you. Roll all the way to one side, and then use the hands to help yourself up, help yourself out. So we're going to come to sit on something. And if you feel like you need more height underneath your hips and you have them, you can take two blocks side by each. So the long edges of the block are touching, and then the long edges of the block would be parallel to the sides of the mat. Others, you don't feel like you need so much height, you could just take a folded blanket. Then we're going to come and sit in Dandasana staff pose. Dandasana staff pose. Again, here we are. If your feet are cold, because I know it's chilly again, we're supposed to get snow again up here. A little bit, not a ton. But if your feet are cold, please put your socks back on. You don't necessarily need bare feet for this. But come to sit, and I like to move my buttock flesh out of the way so that my sits bones can root into whatever surface I'm sitting on. And then we're coming underneath that right knee, bringing the right foot to the floor. Then we're going to step the right foot over the left leg. Step the right foot over the left leg. And try to put the heel of the foot close to that upper left thigh. And then interlacing the hands on the front of that right shin. Really climb up the front of the torso. Shoulder blades are down the back. Tailbone is heavy. Right sits bone, left sits bone should feel evenly pressing. Yes. And then taking that right arm behind you. It's pressing into the floor. Then we're inhaling this left arm up towards the sky. Exhaling, hooking the right knee with the left arm to turn. Or some of you can dive that left elbow on the outer right thigh. Then you're still pressing down to lengthen. Meanwhile, back at that left foot, it's pressing into an invisible wall. The toes are gently spreading. Shoulder blades move down. They help to support the back of the heart. The front of the sternum lifts. Let your gaze be slightly above the horizon line. We inhale to lengthen, exhale to turn. We're not being aggressive, but we're being intelligent about it. We're feeling into the body, noticing its needs. And then let the head turn back towards that left shoulder. Gorgeous. And then let the head turn all the way to the right shoulder. Take an inhale here. And then on your exhale, listen carefully. You're going to take the left arm behind you. Right arm comes inside the right thigh. Little counter twist before we go to the second side. Should feel good in the low back. And then exhale to release. Undo the legs. And then come underneath the left knee. You might have to move the right leg to the left as you step the left foot over the right thigh. Tuck the heel in close to the thigh. We want a little bit of compaction here. And then interlacing the hands on the front of the shin, climb up the spine, shoulder blades down, navel back, tailbone heavy. Then the left hand goes behind us. It's part of our support. You lean into it, so there's a bit of a back bend. Then you inhale the right arm up, and then you either exhale and hook the knee or exhale and dive the elbow. Just depends on what your capacity is today. And then we want the crown of the head to be over the tailbone. So you have to recover and lift. Inhaling to get long, exhaling to turn. We're only taking what is freely available. We're not being aggressive. And then is that right foot still part of the pose? Can you let the shoulder blades support the back of the heart? Nice. Again, looking over the horizon line. The chin is slightly lifted, keeping the mood up. And then turning the head back towards that right shoulder. Get that little bit of counter twist in the upper spine. And then turn the head all the way towards the left shoulder. A nice full inhale here. As you exhale, go for the counter twist. Now the right hand comes behind, left arm comes inside that left knee, right? You feel the broadness come into the body. One more inhale. And then exhale, undo the legs. Let's have both knees bent, feet on the floor, just like we started, knees side to side. How is it now? We've had an experience, right? Now we're exploring. Gorgeous. From here, we're headed to Shavasana. So definitely now replace any clothing that might have left you. We'll set up, if you have it, blanket for underneath the head or pillow if you don't have a blanket, or if you want to use your blanket for over the body. If you have something to put behind the upper thighs, that can be really, really nice. And that might be these two blocks. It might be a rolled blanket or another rolled towel, might be a pillow. Before you surrender, right, cover up with everything, I want you to take your fingertips into the back of your skull, so both hands. And I want you to use your hands to lift your head slightly. And then let the fingers slide towards the crown of your head as your head slowly lowers back down to the earth. Then release your arms out and down to the sides. Then relax your body entirely. Open the mouth wide, stick the tongue out, stretch the jaw, stretch the throat, stretch the tongue. It's so good to do this. It'll help you to open up through these areas that can be so tight, especially if you don't feel like you can say what you need to say all the time. So stretch the throat, stretch the jaw, stretch the tongue, and then draw the tongue back into the mouth. Bring just the lips back to touch and let go yourself completely. Let loose yourself completely. Let yourself rest here in stillness and silence, knowing now there's nothing else to do. Letting one strand of your awareness come back to hear my voice. Start to notice your body coming back to the surface, perhaps deepening the breath. Now, if you have time and space to remain in Shavasana and you found yourself in a really sweet spot, you don't have to move at all. You can just stay where you are. Others, you might start moving fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Might feel ready to draw the knees back up into the chest, giving yourself a hug. And then when you feel ready, roll to the right side, pause there on the right side, feel the earth beneath you, and then use the hands to press yourself back up to a seated position. Descending the tailbone, reaching through the crown of the head, let's take the hands together in front of the heart. Palm against palm, fingers elongated, lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones. And on an exhalation, let the chin move forward, let the chin move down. You're bowing to the seat of the soul. You're bowing to that divine inner wellspring of kindness, compassion, patience, and joy. The light in me is deeply honored by the light in you, grateful for your practice, and humbled by your presence. And in case no one's told you yet today, I love you, and I'm convinced of your capacity to continue crafting a life worth living. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Really good job, everyone. I know it was a unique situation today, and you